Everyone, my name is Red Knight. I am an aspiring film director, and today I'm sharing a part of my story with the world. I want to start by saying this. This video is not meant to make anyone feel bad for me whatsoever, so please don't. I'm not here for pity. I'm only here to be honest. Everything I went through, everything I'm about to talk about, I've learned to embrace it. I've learned to replace the bad memories with better ones, and that took time. But it proved to me that I'm capable of moving on and letting go of blame that I was never meant to carry. My story begins when I was 9 years old. My mother passed away, but even before that, my siblings and I were taken away from her multiple times. She wasn't able to take care of us. So once she was gone, the foster care system became my life. I didn't get to learn a lot of things kids are supposed to learn, things like empathy, love, and emotional understanding, because I was too busy surviving one placement after another. Foster care was probably one of the worst experiences of my life. I bounced from home to home because I was labeled a problem child. But the truth is, teenagers in the system aren't problems. We're traumatized, we push back because we've spent our whole lives being pushed around. One of the worst placements I had ever been in was with a woman named Susan. She was physically and emotionally abusive towards me, my siblings, and even her own son, Chris. He struggled with his weight, he struggled with neglect, and instead of helping him, she blamed me for anything he did. Food went missing, my fault. Something broke, my fault. My he made a mistake, still somehow my fault. She even allowed a dangerous man around me and my little brother, and what that person did to me is a big part of why I hate predators and why I speak out against them. A moment I will never forget is when one day I went to a friend's house. I tried to do this trick that I've done hundreds of times, jumping off the bike and landing on my feet, whatever. I ended up scraping my knee really bad and then spraining my ankle. So, of course, I'm crying, got fucking tears and snot all over my face. I limped home crying. I was in the worst pain I'd ever felt. I'd never sprained my ankle. Worst thing ever. She ignored me. Instead, she told me to take a lawnmower to the backyard. I tried, but I couldn't push it. When I left it where it was, she got angry and accused me of faking the injury for attention. So she dragged me to urgent care, which, by the way, if you've ever been to an urgent care, they fucking suck. They do not know how to do their job. I mean, there's probably others that do, but the one I went to in Battle Creek, Michigan at the time, the absolute fucking worst. Because you know what their excuse, what they said? They got the X-ray and said it was just an app. Brother, how the fuck, why does okay, my ankle hurts. Please tell me why. They won't tell you why because they want fucking money, those stupid bastards. Anyways, getting off topic here. Um, so she said, with her manipulating skills, that I was walking just fine, and even tried convincing doctors that I was autistic, but I'm actually ADHD. That was her, and that was the environment I grew up in. I used to blame myself for everything, for being angry, for acting out, for being labeled difficult. But as an adult, I know the truth. I wasn't the problem. The environment around me was the problem. When kids go through trauma, they stop listening because no one listened to them in the first place. I've accepted that. I'll never get an apology, and that's okay. I'm sharing this not for sympathy, not for clout, but because I'm a filmmaker and I want my community to know where I come from. The foster care system isn't paperwork. It's not statistics. It's real kids living real trauma, kids who deserve better. I pay attention to people now, how they act, how they treat others, how they talk to kids. I've babysat my little brothers. I've been climbed on like a jungle gym more times than I can count. Sure, I've gotten frustrated. I've raised my voice before, but I always apologize afterward because I don't want my mistakes to become their trauma. The time effect of growing up in an abusive home is that I never learned to ask for things. I was terrified of rejection. So instead of asking for food or basic needs, I stole it. So like there were times where I would go to a store and I would steal things I would need. Not to be a thief, but because it was survival. It was a way of coping, my way of coping. It wasn't healthy, and it led to a lot of weight issues, which I'm working hard to change now. I don't want to be big anymore. I want to be healthy. I want to feel strong. And honestly, Batman motivates me. When I was growing up, Batman helped me through a lot. Not the gadgets, but the trauma. The idea that someone can turn pain into purpose. That's why I created the Fat Man. It was my own way of coping, of creating something, of dealing with everything I had been through. And when I reach my weight goals, I'm buying a full on Batman costume. I'm making Batman videos, maybe even a short film. Batman and Spider Man are two characters I very much relate to the most, and I know I'm not the only trauma survivor who feels that way. Come on, guys, anyone can wear the mask. Movies and TV were my escape, the place where I felt safe, the place where I saw heroes rise from trauma instead of being destroyed by it. That's what made me want to be a film director. I want to tell stories that make people feel understood, stories that give people hope. As a content creator and aspiring film director, there's something I refuse to stay silent about: child abuse. I've lived through it. I know what it does to people, and I want to use my platform to speak out against it. Not for attention, but because it matters, because someone has to say something. Kids can't protect themselves the way adults can protect themselves. Kids can't walk away from abusive adults. Kids can't fight the system alone. I remember being that kid. I remember feeling alone. And I don't want anyone else to feel like that. I believe stories change the world. Stories make people pay attention. Stories make people feel. The same way Batman and Spider Man helped me survive. I want my films and my content to help someone else survive. My goal is simple. I want to make content that protects kids, helps survivors, and exposes abuse wherever it hides. Whether it's through short films, characters like Fat Man, documentaries, or just conversations like this. I want my voice and my pain to mean something.